One. Hi guys, welcome to Blue Flame. I'm just finishing up my hair before I upload readings today. And I have plans for tonight, and I just figured I would get my hair and stuff out of the way. Makeup's already done. And put my nails on, and then we are go for the water signs. I'm already getting stuff for them. So, yes, you'll see if you watch for water signs. I had fun last night on my live. As you saw, I was up till like 4 Yeah, I get it. Like why is everybody like poor Pisces? You know, in the scheme of everything, not really poor Pisces because they already know everything anyway. They just want confirmation. But um, or yeah, they want to know what's coming up so that they can gaslight. Low vibrational. Look, there's a big difference. I'm telling you, I used to have my own theories too when I first started doing this. I have my own sign biases. Somebody had actually asked me last night what my favorite sign to read, like what the worst sign was that I did not like. And I used to have biases because there was a lot of um, pain associated with certain people under certain zodiac signs. But you can't just blanket statement. It goes by someone's whole doggone chart. It's not just by their sun sign. I saw a lot of bad behavior by every sun sign. That's a fact. I saw a lot of low vibing energy from a lot of different signs. It all depends on what frequency you're on. Um, if you're on a positive frequency where you don't feel like dealing with drama and messed up, you know, sometimes hard to break out of that, man. Hard to break out of the whole '3D matrix of, oh, well, they're an Aries, so they're immature and they'll never grow up. Or, you know, they're Gemini, so they're two, like that. Those are the type of thing. Like they're Gemini, so they're two-faced. Or they're a Taurus, so, you know, they will eat in bed. You know, some of these less desirable traits about certain signs. And I have Venus in Taurus. I eat in bed all the time. I don't care. I am single. I do what I want. That's part of the Aries thing now. How do you know you're on the right path? You stop judging people. You let people be exactly who they are. Stop trying to conform people. Stop giving a shit what anyone else is doing except for what you're doing for other people in your own life. Watching people and their every move just so you can, and this goes for everybody. I saw it in every arena, every sector. So this isn't aimed at any specific, like, I had it happen to me when I worked in local government. It's like any little thing that somebody could come up with, whether true or not, if they didn't like you, they would just pass around like it's facts. Gossiping. That's a very low vibrational trait. Unforgiveness. Very low vibrational trait. Not being able to forgive people. I understand a lot of us have been hurt. It's still no excuse. Not that it's for them either. It's a higher vibrational frequency of loving yourself enough to let somebody go. And loving yourself enough to bid someone farewell. Yeah, I get it. Like, our mind is powerful. Like, we can will things into existence. If you think about manifesting that. And that's one of the things we talk to Pisces and Scorpio and them about. And I said it yesterday in the Earth sign reading. For the longest time, I really don't think. I think that beyond Sagittarius, I think water signs have had more magical manifestations happen in their life, and they just chalked it up to coincidence, or coincidence. That they just chalked it up to coincidence. You know, that was luck. No, you thought it, you built it, it happened. And if a lot of times, if they're positive, that's what you're going to focus on. The thing is, you know, and this is with every sign, is where we're coming to, folks. Energetic, almost like energetic war. Thank goodness I went through the process that I did, and I could understand, sort of. And it's a painful process, that waking up to realize that everything that you've done up until 40 some years of your life is pretty much mean shit. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It was all pretty much meaningless. I mean, I went to 6 years of college. I mean, yeah, it did give me a good indication of how people. You want to know what it gave me a good indication of? It gave me a real good indication of how people are programmed through higher education. That's what college did for me. I sat and watched. Sat and watched it happen. Sat and watched, and I actually had also saw another student whose father had pulled her out of my college because the stuff that they were teaching was completely against. And her father was extremely religious and extremely pissed. And I really liked Amelia. She was such a sweet girl. But nope, her family was not having that. And in a way, I can't say as I blame them, because if you're not careful in higher education, they will program you, and you don't even realize you're being programmed, because what goes in the eye holes goes in the ear holes, goes into your understanding, and then it becomes a part of you, and they know this. Believe me, a lot of these professors know. Sorry, professors, I'm kind of out in your little secret that I saw, but there was one professor that was completely 100% true, and I love it, because everybody who blackballed her, because she kept it real, are probably sitting there being like, what the hell? Kim knew the whole time. Yes, she did. Hmm? She did. She was warning us. She was one professor that gave us the warning of another brick in the wall. And people would just be like, well, that'll never happen here in America. Wrong. Anyway, let's get off that topic. How you know? You're on the right path. A lot of judgment will go out the window. Also, if you're working through, if God's dealing with you with something, you'll know. Because like I said, that's one of the things that you really have to stop judging people. Whether you agree with them or not, that's your opinion, that's your choice. That's okay. You can agree with them. Why can't we just agree not to agree? How about that? Why does everything have to be a freaking war and a competition? I don't get it. I really don't. And I'm an Aries, and I say this. I don't get it. Like, do what you're good at. Do what you enjoy. And, dreams. Are you seriously? I don't know how much just got cut out there, but yeah. Uh, I mean, I get it. I just don't screw with people. That's pretty much what God told me. You're an Aries. See something? I show you something. You help. If it's received, great. If it's not, dust your feet off. Keep walking out the door. I got something better on the other side of that door. Just keep it walking. No disagreements. No having to be like, oh, this is wrong. No. Just move on with your life. Wish them farewell and keep it moving. Because we really don't have time to sit there and just put a magnifier on just everything that people do wrong. Why can't we sit there and be like, be thankful and grateful for things that people do right? That's one of the ways of looking at the positive. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're doing the best you could. Tell yourself you're proud of yourself. Making it through this process. And, like I said, I got that question last night of like, which is my least favorite zodiac sign? I don't have really a least favorite. I dealt with every single zodiac sign in one capacity or another. And I know what some of my favorite ones are, but it doesn't mean that I have any less love for all of them. Because they all have, okay, there's no more. Because they all have a special place. I can't wait to talk to my water sign, because first off, they're going to get it for keeping me up last night. Yes, they are. I get it. Like, you want to talk. I'm going to go over and do that here in a minute. Just let me do what I need to do first here. I'm telling you, I didn't fall asleep till like 4:30, almost 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was back up by 9. It's like they want their message. Get that. It's coming. And I gotta get the air signs too, so. It's like, well, could wait till the moon goes into Aquarius to do air signs, but no. They need it before that. And Mars and Aquarius, I'll tap right into that. Which is that's one of my favorite signs. I love Aquariuses. Some people call them the mad evil geniuses. One of the things I can say is signs you don't want to mess with. Moon signs. Certain moon signs you do not want to mess with. Well, most of them anyway. If they're in a place of how can I put this? If they're in a place of low frequency, if they aren't trying to work on themselves, if some of the bad traits, they'll drugs, all kinds. It all lowers your frequency. Alcohol, especially. It just lowers your inhibition. No, it lowers your frequency too, to cause you to do stupid shit. That's alcohol. I don't normally have, like, it's this whole mastering yourself. If you have alcoholism in your family and you're trying to quit, it is the best thing for you just to abstain completely. Like, there's certain people who, you'll hear, they get clean for 3-4 years and then they fall off the wagon. That's the term, falling off the wagon. I saw people do this. They'd be clean for 10 years and then they fall off the wagon and be this completely different human being that they're not when they're not drinking. It's one of the reasons I despise most beverages like that. I don't mind wine. It's different than alcohol. It's made completely different than alcohol. Most people who have a wine buzz aren't nasty. You can't say I don't know what I'm talking about. I worked in a bar for 8 years. I was a bartender. I'd much rather deal with a bar full of people who were high on marijuana than deal with somebody in a club in a club setting where it's nothing but alcohol. Alcohol is one of the lowest frequency things you can do to yourself. I don't care. You can get mad at me for saying it. It's true. Part of the reason Native Americans hate it too. It just causes disturbances in the force. And of course, people fought for it during Prohibition and all that, and you got to fight for your right to party, like the Beastie Boys would say. And they mainstreamed alcohol. One of the worst things they could have mainstreamed was alcohol, and they went after a plant and racially tied it to a specific people group. Trust me, I did all the research on marijuana. I've been doing this for years and years. I even did a speech on medical marijuana back in 2011 and why it should be legalized for college. And why we need to be growing hemp. Little did I realize people were going to be selling all of their farms off to... I'm not going to get into that. How you know you're on the right path? The stuff you need just kind of comes to you. At the just right time, right moment, right time. You manifest it. Sometimes the universe will let you see how bad you want it, though, and want you to push through. So, just as you're ready to give up, say, the heck with this. Maybe I'm supposed to be doing something else. Blessing for being obedient. God usually shows up when you're at your wit's end. When you're ready to, just throw in the towel and be like, I'm done. And, when it comes to someone like me, as far as Aries goes, or I think any fire sign, minus, I don't know, Leo's kind of in a class of their own. Just put it out there like that. They're kind of in a class of their own because they have that fixed energy to where Aries and Sag don't give a shit. We're kind of lone rangers in our own right. And we're natural born leaders in our own right. If you get pissed off, I don't care. Fire, earth, water, air, water, fire, earth, air, water. That's the way it goes. We start the shit. The fire signs start the shit. And the one issue I can say, is this whole competitive thing. Like I said, when you can get to the point where you're not in competition with nobody but you're who you are, wanting to be the best you can be, you're on to something. Distractions are always going to come. It's how you handle them when they come. You know I'm right. Like, starting to take accountability for your own shit. That's how you can usually tell a higher vibe person. Someone who can apologize and be like, I was wrong. Higher vibe person. Someone who's like, look, I'm praying for you. I don't necessarily agree with you, but I'm going to pray for you anyway, and we can agree to disagree and still go about our shit doing what we're called to do, even though my shit doesn't line up with your shit. Still gonna pray for you because you're awesome as a human being. It's because you do things differently, or God moves through them differently. Instead of being all threatened and stuff. It's one of the competition. One of the biggest indicators. Look at me. I'm on here doing hair. It looks like hell. And I could care less what people think. I don't care. Because the out result will be beautiful. But either way, I'm not saying that dark forces don't try and put discouragements in your path, because they will. This blockage, yo, you're talking to somebody with a Grand Cardinal Cross here. I'm talking about somebody who has had to push through I'm not even getting into it because it's just shit. So take it from me, how you handle fragile people and how you handle people at their core tells a lot about you as a person. We have to get to the point to where we're just walking in our own purpose and not looking outside of us to see what everybody else is doing. Because everything that you need, God will give you. Everything. Some people have ideas, beautiful ideas, and they're just like, I got these ideas, I just don't have the money to do it. I get it. that's a blockage that you're going to have to try and manifest through and figure out a way of doing something so that you can finish your purpose. And God will send the right people your way. God will send the right just signs that this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're meant to do. This is what I created you for. And when you get opposition, where, you know, people don't agree with you, or people don't like your thing because it doesn't go along with their narrative or what they were taught or their tradition, those are the types of people where you just have to bid farewell and say, bye. You don't need to be in my life. You don't understand me, and I don't care. Believe me, I've had plenty of family and people on YouTube, because I speak so openly about my faith, that they're like, oh. And then as soon as I bring up my ministry is within the tarot community, oh my God, don't tell me you're doing that. Yep, call me Mose. You get all kinds of weird manifestations and stuff like that. Yep. Like I said, people would have missed Jesus. People did call him a sorcerer. Say he did black magic. Say he was using demons. Even though they forget that Solomon also used demons if he wanted to build stuff. I'm telling you, religion kills. Religion absolutely just destroys people. It's all about that relationship with God. That's what we were restored back to, is our relationship with the Divine Father. It's the whole reason Jesus came. Spread the kingdom for his kids, so we could be restored to be able to enter into prayer and ask the Father whatever we need. Most people don't ask because they're afraid. And absolutely, we should have a fear of the Lord. I'm not saying that we should not, especially if you're doing something wrong and you know it. You'll know. The anointing will lift when you're doing something wrong. There's a big difference between the anointing on someone's life and just a gift. The anointing changes people. The anointing gets people's attention. The anointing is like, how the heck do you know this? I consulted with God about it first. How? Specific questions. I don't ask. I don't need to conjure anything up. I don't need to do any of that. No, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But, the more people tell me not to do something, is the more God's like, do it more. Do it all the more. Your mission isn't their mission, their purpose, and don't let them sway you off. Do not. And I'm not going to. People care enough, what they can do is pray for me. Not curse me. Like, I get people actual thinking, like, God really do that? Yeah, God could do whatever the heck he wants, wherever the heck he wants to do it with, whoever the heck he wants to do it with at any given time. He's God. And everybody has a role to play. Some people are meant to be the good guy in your life, and some people are meant to be the bad guy in your life. Some people are meant to teach you lessons, and trust me, I've had to teach a lot of these men lessons that I've dealt with. And I'm not saying in a revengeful way. I'm saying in a, they usually come back and be like, I screwed up. Yeah, you did. And with me being an Aries, now I don't care. Type of, I don't care. I don't feel like that no more. You let it go for too long. Or you weren't consistent. One thing an Aries needs in their life is consistency. And if you can't be consistent, because that's one area Aries needs structure. Because we prefer, we don't mind boundaries and rules, but we prefer not to be lorded over. That's the wrong thing to do to an Aries, is to try and lord over them. As soon as we feel, and Sag can probably say the same thing, as soon as we feel that like we're being confined, we will lash out and break out of that box. Like, we won't be confined. We define ourselves. Yeah, we don't like that shit. Nope, we do not. Most of us just want to live our lives in peace, do what we do to help people. That's one of the bigger difference. That's another big difference when it comes to like motive. God will change your motive. If your motive is all about making money, he'll make sure you don't make no money. Doesn't matter how many candles you burn or whatever. If that's all you care about and that's all you're focused on, is that making that money, might as well forget that. When you release it and no longer care, because you're doing it just out of sheer faith, and whatever happens, happens, and you release it, guess what happens? Things just seem to fall in place. Things just kind of fall in your lap. And it's like, and some of the most controlling signs, well, all of them, if they're in a low frequency or low vibration, all of them can be very controlling. But they control in different ways. Air signs will want to control your the way you think about yourself or think about other people. Because they're a very social sign. Water signs will want to control you by your emotions, like a puppet master behind the fucking scenes. True story. Earth signs will want to control you materialistically. And fire signs will, they'll just make your life hell. Period. they'll leave. So I'm not saying it's not a, it's a bad thing if you leave the situation, you know, especially like that's abusive. That is not a bad thing. That is exactly what you're supposed to do. Get the heck away from that shit. You know what an abusive cycle looks like. You know what an abusive relationship looks like. And a lot of us had to see it for ourselves and go through that for ourselves. So that we could take our knowledge of that type of behavior, because there was so little in the mental health industry about abuse and stuff like that. Now I'm kind of getting away from talking about it. I still have my other channel, and now that I'm getting kind of emotionally removed from that whole, those scenarios and healing from them, I really don't want to talk about them. I don't want to hear about them. I don't want to think about them because I don't want to re-manifest something like that in my life. You know, share something real quick with you. I was going through my cell phone. Real weird. Going through my cell phone yesterday, and I'm thinking, where in the hell did all of these pictures from years ago, 2016, 2017, 2018, I'm thinking, what the hell? Really? Like, I don't want to look at these, even though, like, I'm just one of those things. If you're on the right path, sometimes you have to take time off too, and get into meditation and get into prayer. And sometimes people actually do block you too. They try and block you. I'm not saying that they don't. But last I knew, and what God told me, is no weapons will form, but they won't prosper in your life. And if at this point, if someone tries to form a weapon against you and use it, not only will it not prosper, but for you having to even put up with the lameness of dealing with the ignorance, I'm going to double bless you right in front of their face. So when that starts happening, you know, for people coming against you, eventually people will eventually leave you alone when they see you blessed right in front of their face. People be like, yeah, all the bad things that are happening to you. Bad things happen? How would you know anything bad's happening? Actually, there's a lot of good things happening in my life. It's just I keep it off of here a lot of times. I let them look at my old shit and study my old shit. And then I come on here and it's like, ain't nothing bad happening to me. All good things. Because I walked away from negativity and negative people and negative Nancy's and just stock energy and just, not my thing. Realizing God can work miracles, God can do anything. And just being in wonder of all of that is kind of where I'm at. Sustained me for the last sort of, like, I mean, I still need some miracles to happen here, but things are coming. Things are going real well. And I owe it all to my papa, sustaining me through all of this. Because I don't know how I would have made it without God. Oh my. Technically, like I said, I shouldn't even be here. Shouldn't be here. But I'm meant to be here. I died 3 times back in 2014. I should not be here. So, me coming on YouTube and doing what I do and talking with everybody, and not only just talking, but, you know, even with the pulling of the cards and stuff like that. I don't care who don't like it. Let's just get that out there. It's part of my purpose and my mission. If you don't like it, like, exit, hit the X out of here, unsubscribe, and don't watch my channel. I don't want you on here. I do not need people of oh little faith on my channel. I don't want people like that on my channel. I don't want bitter people on my channel. I want people who are positive and have a positive. I mean, I get it. The world does not look positive. I understand this. But we're not to look at the outside world. We're to look at the miracle that can happen through it. Like, how can God use this whole thing for his glory? Instead of being in fear, which is what the news and everything else wants. Keep people anxious and steal your joy and steal your... No wonder 12 like Pisces, they choose to cave up. I get it. I'm the same way. I hermit myself. It's like, I don't want to deal with those types. I understand. Pisces has been gaslit for a long time. And I said it back in 2018, during 2019, something like that. Once Pisces finally understands, they're not crazy. They start fully stepping into their power, and the miracles around them. Whew, the miracles around them. One of my favorite readings I ever did. I did look like hell. It was, oh my gosh, it was during lunar eclipse time. Because that was a triple threat eclipse that year. I think it was 2019. Planets in retrograde, like, during Cancers is during... Oh, it wasn't Leo. It's like the end of July, so I think it would be Leo season. But, the lunar, solar, it wasn't like lunar, solar, lunar, or something like that. Man, did I get some crazy readings. And that was for like Gemini, Aquarius, and them are some of my favorite signs to read for. Geminis, I'm sorry, but I rarely ever get any love stuff for Geminis. They're always on some other level. Like, I don't know. It's the collective I find. And then it pisses people off on YouTube because they're only looking at love. They're looking for someone to come back. They're looking for that abuser that ghosted them 5 years ago that they're still stuck upon. And it's not where my head is. My head's looking forward. And I can usually pick up on that type of energy, but that's why I don't read for the zodiac so much, because I get mad. Where's the love readings? Go to that person if you want lied to. You ain't gonna get it from me. My best advice for pretty much everybody is don't judge a book by its cover, and don't say don't limit your options as far as like, it's only this person. You might always care about that person. You might always love that person. Sometimes God has a better design and a better setup for you elsewhere. You'll see. You will see. Now, if you're in an existing relationship and it's going well, next level for those existing relationships. New understanding. You know, and I'll tell you what, ladies, men are not that complicated. They're not. Men are not that complicated. We tend to think they're complicated. They're not. You will know if a man likes you because they pursue by nature. If you're not being pursued, then you got to ask why. If you're doing the pursuing of anything, of another person, whatever, you're in male energy. The only thing I'm pursuing is my goal and my dreams and whatever comes my way. Because I'm a manifesting generator, whatever comes my way, take it up with the Most High, and I'm like, what do you think about this? And he'll let me know. There'll be an attraction there. There'll be a magnetism there. There'll be something there that will tell me. Let's proceed with caution forward. Watch the red flags, though. But proceed with caution. And take it slow. If a man does not respect you, your body, enough to stay faithful, you're an idiot for staying in that. I'm sorry, ladies. This is my Aries coming. You're an idiot for staying in anything where a man does not respect you or your body. Sorry. Stop using women for... Trust me, there's men out there that are... Talk about women being freaking... using men. I see men doing it to women all the time. Leeching off of them. That started a lot. Pluto and Scorpio generation. No offense to Pluto and Scorpio generations, but it did. They don't want to... I mean, I saw it. Just work ethic. Poor. And then they want money. Like $15. Can't hold a job for more than like 3 to 6 months. Sometimes weeks. Who wants somebody that inconsistent? It's like... Y'all deserve better. And most of you know I dated on and off. Nothing worked out. Because guess what? Blue Flame did not settle. Blue Flame wasn't settling for second best. She wasn't settling for cheating assholes. And she wasn't going to allow... that's not going to match. She wasn't going to allow someone to make a fool out of her. Look, I'm talking about myself in the third person. Sorry. But... my God, you see it. And if you don't, ask God to show you. He'll show you real fast who the enemies in your life are. People just there to steal your energy. People just there to use what they can get. You know, one of the funniest things that I do find is I come on here and I drop gems on here a lot. And yeah, I have a PayPal. Yeah. I do readings, excellent readings. Do you know how many donations people get after I'm dropping gems all the time? Not very many. So you want to know why I've been not doing readings a lot? Because people don't appreciate them. That's why. They'll go to somebody else who's going to tell them so-and-so is coming back. And then a year and a half later, when that person still doesn't come back, don't say I didn't tell you so. Could have been out of that thing a year and a half ago. I know people have been waiting around on people for freaking 15 years. You out of your freaking mind? That's your own damn fault at that point. You're abusing yourself. If you haven't got a clue by now, the person ain't shit. You can get better. Like I said, God will provide you a good person. If you ask. Someone who's perfectly made for you, that will understand just you and ain't gonna judge you and will treat you like a princess. And because if they don't, they got God on their ass. And sometimes they need to learn hard lessons for messing with God's kids. I've never seen people have harsher karma than some of the men that have hurt me. And it wasn't me wishing ill will on them. It was their own dumb shit. Their own dumb stuff that they did. And most of them actually can admit it. I actually have screenshots from years ago that I found. I will never cheat on another person ever again. Because of how bad it feels. Well, this person was a chronic cheater. And it's funny because I went through messages yesterday and they were in screenshot form in my phone. And I'm like, why is that coming up? Who cares? So, look, people are who they are. And we are who we are. Know your damn value. Know your value. Because if you leave it up to somebody else and how they feel about you, and they have really bad intentions, and exactly, Andrew Worth. If they have really bad intentions, it's like I said, I'm not saying don't give people chances and opportunities. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying. You don't know unless you try. You'll never know unless you try. So who wants to sit and regret for not trying and wasting their life away? Exactly. Who wants to waste their life away on That's, like I said, I understand. That's why a lot of people want to stick things out, because they've been in things for so doggone long that they can't. It's been so long, I have to stick this out. Why are you not living your life? Especially if the divine puts somebody awesome in your new life. It's okay to have boundaries. We're supposed to have boundaries. We need to have boundaries. We don't have boundaries, we're messed up. We're screwed. Why in the heck do you think we all had to do all this studying up on what narcissism was? Some of us, anyway. At least me on here. I studied up on the damn shit because I dealt with one after another. I'm like, why do I keep attracting these type of people? And it's called self-sabotage. Fire signs. Some of you might be able to relate to the reading I did. It's called self-sabotage. Pick the same type of person, with the same type of problems. Tell me I'm wrong. This guy reminds me sort of like my ex, and I kind of have the same feelings. Like, I really like this person, and yeah. Same cycle. Repeat. On repeat. Am I wrong? And then it goes wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. Until you're like, and the thing is if you don't cut it off, they sure as heck ain't gonna cut it off. If they're getting that energy spike from you, that's why they want to remain friends. Like a lot of narky people want to remain friends after the relationship is over. You gotta be like, maybe years down the line, maybe not then either. You can just give them false hope, like they've given you the whole time. Just give them false hope. Yeah, sure, we could be friends, and delete, block. Yipper. Gotta be super careful. Where you have to learn how to have trust, though, is, I can tell I'm getting into my water sign energy. Where you have to learn how to trust is knowing that not everybody is the same. Not everyone is going to do that thing that person just did. Not everybody, and not self-sabotaging. Like if they do it repetitively, okay? And if it goes against the boundary, that's when you need to put your foot down. Like, we are not here to be abused. Here's the thing about letting them go in peace. Let them go mess somebody else's life up. Come on, Jack, move over. I know you like my grounding mat. It's my grounding mat. Let him go in peace. And whether it be a relationship or some people, it's just the pride thing. They can't believe it. Somebody won't want to be with you. Well, and that's on our part too. It's not on just that, that's on our part. And accepting responsibility for our part we played in our own damn abuse. Yeah. I mean, some things that we couldn't help because they're in your family or they're in, you know, some things we couldn't help. But when it's a relationship and you don't live with this person, even if you did make an exit plan, like, why continue being in negative space with people and sharing negative space with people? It's no fun. That's not fun. Zen Center calls relationship practice. Yeah. When you know better, you do better. In the meantime, we have to understand what fiery darts are. We have to understand what and learn. Okay, key discernment. Key discernment. Having discernment. If you're in a good space, that's why a lot of people say don't let the sun go down on your anger, because it creates a foothold and a stronghold in your life. You're pissed off. That's why a lot of times even it's biblical that, you know, if you're mad at your spouse, don't go to bed until you've at least talked about it, or you made a time where you're going to talk about it. You know, don't let the sun go down on your anger, because it creates a foothold, which then will turn into a stronghold. And if there's unresolved things and you go to sleep on that, guess what? That's getting ingrained in your subconscious. They might not, that might be somewhere in one of the biblical texts that they stole out of the Bible and said that people didn't, you know, that wasn't biblical enough for them. how to not create a foothold and a stronghold, use it with the fiery darts from the enemy, which is, it stops your manifestation. It stops you from being able to give out positive energy. It stops you from being able to proceed forward. It creates a blockage in your life due to bitterness and resentment. It's why I don't watch karmic readings. I did for a little bit, and I noticed the more that I did, the more that I started getting, I'm like, I don't care what these fucking people, excuse my mouth, I don't care what these people are doing. It's why I block, don't watch, delete off social media, because I don't care. Delete phone number, delete life from life. I don't drive by people's houses. I don't stalk. I anti-stalk. I know where people hang out. I don't go there. That's how I roll. Because it takes time and it takes distance to break free of soul ties and trauma bonds. You can't be around somebody who you have a soul tie and a trauma bond with and expect that the feelings aren't going to still be there. They know this. They know this. That's why they want to stay friends. You need a friend to talk to. Well, you picked the wrong person, buddy, to screw over them. Should have thought of that before talking shit about me to people that I know, thinking it wouldn't get back to me. And being in a bad place like that was a dumb mistake, idiot. Like, why in the hell would you talk shit about me to somebody who knows me, who knows my kids, who is like a child of mine, and then think that it's okay just to, that I'm just gonna not know, that they're not gonna tell me what you said about me? Nice try, bub. Nice try. These are the people. Oh, well, you should forgive. I do forgive. I completely forgive. 110% completely forgive. What I don't do is forgiveness is selfish. It's a very, very selfish act. And if people understood it, they would start doing it more. It's releasing yourself. So they're not taking up resident space in your mind. Some people enjoy doing that to people. They like to take up space in other people's minds. That's pretty much what fiery darts are. So, sorry, I really wasn't watching the chat. I've been getting around because I got to get these readings done. Water signs, you're on my shit list. Me and Stacy are good, as far as I'm aware. I noticed something weird with my energy with that whole situation. She would contact me like once every like month and a half, and I caught on to what she was doing, and she was basically getting energy boosts and sucking my energy dry. So I found that out. It wasn't like she was, and yeah, it was consciously she was doing it. But I still love her. Don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against her. I understand. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, dude, she would ask me a question, and I'd answer, and she'd be like, "Thanks for the energy jump," and then I wouldn't hear from her for 2 months. So I had to cut her off, and it wasn't like I don't love her, and it wasn't like I just had to protect my energy. Wasn't like I won't hang out with her sometime in the future. It's just for now. Have I said anything about air signs? A little bit earlier I did, but not just I'm gonna be doing it actually air signs. Oh, I know. And it's not that these people really consciously they do it. Some people know. She knows all about manifestation. She knows how to do all that stuff. And I had to get to the point where it was like, you're not stealing. Is that my energy? Like, she exposed what she was doing. She had to. That's how the universe rolls. Motives can't stay hidden. I'm going to be doing a reading, Tony Green, for air signs today. So be looking for the uploads sometime, I'd say after 5 or 6. And I'm going to get off this live because I don't want to get too tired. I got to go into the depths of the bowels of hell with water signs, apparently, because death is out. I'm joking, water signs. I love you. Like I said, don't take me too far down the rabbit hole today because I got to get to air signs. Air signs, I'm going to get you. I love you, Amy. I love you, Kim. Thanks, Tony, for coming on. Fire signs, earth signs are up right now. And hey, Amy, this was super cool when I was up in Vermont. Remember when we saw that shooting star? That big ass friggin' meteorite? All earth and fire in here. Remember when we saw that big ass friggin' meteorite right above your Yeah, I wish I could have got that on video. Amy also saw me in actually I was talking about you the other day. And my trip up there and how like when we went to the waterfall and after that it was all over for me the whole rest of the day. I went into some for kind of I'm sad this I'm happy that it does, but I'm sad because it's such a beautiful place. It really is. I really enjoyed that trip, and thank you. I might come up. I may just take a trip. I have to make sure my car is good enough to go all the way up there, though. It will just be me this time. It won't be. I don't think I'm not bringing anyone else. Um, can't bring her. Um, but when, dude, you can ask her. She took me on that once I started getting gemstones, started picking up, I was in a whole different reality. I couldn't even think. I'm just sitting there eating, like, not talking, just absorbing everything. And I figured out about her friend's house, and I was just like, it came out. She's the one who took me to her friend. I brought this story up in Vermont, a very magical day, and I knew her friend's house was messed up, haunted, like big time haunted, like she got a new bath. New bathroom? What do you mean by that? How's she doing, by the way? Like, seriously, we're sitting there and they were all discussing and talking, and I'm in some zone. I'm not even paying attention to nobody else except for what's going on in the environment. Like, they knew her, and Stace both knew that she was drinking all morning or drinking that day. I didn't even know. I'm like, they're like, you couldn't tell she was wasted. I'm like, I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to the environment that was going on, that was so chaotic or all around me. I wasn't really paying attention to, and I felt bad. Like, I couldn't focus on, because I was just tapped in. And then I pretty much got the whole doggone story about the area up there and how it's good to see you too. So, right there, Amy, she can attest. I can tell if a house is haunted. She can attest. I know things about environments. That girl there saw me in action. Yes, she did. She saw, and I didn't know her friend. I still didn't even know her. I forget what her friend's name is. I didn't know these people. First time meeting, and I still don't. I wouldn't recognize her if I saw her on the street. But I knew that house was messed up. I know that, and that's exactly the type of stuff I'm telling you. Like that, I know things like that, and I knew that whatever was in there was trying to hurt people. So that's why it's like, this needs to go. They need to get this off the land. You need to sage, grow sage, get a demonologist in there for Pete's sake, because somebody needs, that house needed exorcised, and I wasn't the right person to do it. I didn't know the family. I didn't see technically anything paranormal. I just felt it. We were being watched the whole time we were sitting on that porch. I was being watched from the time we pulled on. I sat in the truck for a while, and I'm like, and it's a nice place, but I was just like, I could just feel it. And a very old house, and old houses have history. Hmm. Well, they try and intimidate, and that's what a lot of times what demonic energy will do. I came up against lower level stuff, powers and spiritual like the little chattering little douchebag demonic, and I never principalities are usually over top of entire regions. Yeah, I'm sure of that. I don't care. They can watch away. What are they gonna do? I ain't doing nothing wrong. What are you gonna do? Sit there and watch us be great. That's what they can do. They can sit and watch us be great. Water run shallow. Either way. All right, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get on and do my water signs. So, like I said, that was my girl. She can tell. She can say. She can vouch for me. I'm a real one. I ain't no fake phony. People even on Mystical, they know. They know. YouTube knows. That's why I've been shadow banned, but it's all good. God bless YouTube. At least I can get my messages out to people, and hit the like button on this. One of the things that'll keep you stuck is bitterness, resentment, anger, all lower chakra vibrations, usually stored in the sacral chakra, root chakra region. Survival and sexual energy cuts off your creative center and everything upward. Just saying. Either way, I'm off here. I love you. Take care. We'll talk soon. We will chat again. Gonna get in and do water signs and air signs. And hopefully water signs do not take me forever. Don't take me down the rabbit hole, water signs. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.